if our producer can send us into the draft, we're going to be finding out whether OMG United can win this 2-0 or if Ardent eSports is going to take this and do a reverse sweep. And we're going to see there is going to be a ban against that glaive, which Zack Attack have. So they don't want to give it on over or face it. And there we go. There is that ban of that fortress. They just don't want to deal with it.
That is amazing that off met an unusual pick getting banned. I haven't seen a fortress ban in a long time. And this is going to let Epic Man over there in OMG United get that Vox as well. We saw has been very powerful in just about every game you've seen Vox in. So that's an excellent chance at a first pick here. And we're seeing Ringo versus Vox likely in lane at this point. And are we going to see Lance to go with or Adagio? Okay, we got Lance. So far, Ardent has got a pretty solid, pretty standard looking team comp going right now. Let's see what kinds of surprises might be in store for us. All right, so we're not going to see Fortress, but we might see
Finn or Ardent in this scenario. And I mean, and they are going to be locking in Finn, which is still very good. Level 8 for that stun. You have Force Accord, extra fortified health from Pleasant Company. Really good scenario, but it does look like they are going to be taking a rule, pretty much taking a page from their own rule book back in game 1. If they go with this Kashka, no, they're actually going to be locking in Sky. So this is going to be a late game powerhouse if they can hold off. So Ardent is going to have to take an early game advantage and run with it if they want a chance to win this. Otherwise, both Sky and Vox are going to be late game nightmares.
Yes, and we're seeing a lot of range in this game. We're not going to see too much on the offensive side. It's going to be, I see a lot of this game coming hardcore down to the captains, who, if we're going to see good forced accords, are we going to see really good roots from the Lance? And especially, how far in the late game can we go to see if OMG United can keep strong and keep a good eye too on that Bone Crusher Finn. Ringo's going to have a good chance to set up those breaking points. Let's see if they can keep the fight sustained long enough to make that work out in their favor.
Right now, I mean, right now, it's just like I said, this is going to be a really late game. They are in for the long haul for OMG United, and it puts really pressure on Ardent eSports to close this game out. If they're not aggressive in the beginning, they're going to fall behind, and if they do fall behind, they're going to be spelling the end for their team.
And we're looking here, as we're seeing at the beginning of every game, it seems like every single game, one captain, I'm going to make sure I have a little bit more defense in case there's that early game aggression, and the other always seems to pick on health. This is really interesting, seeing nobody wanting to make sure that he can keep some extra health going for his teammates, but it looks like it's not going to be able to help too much as Zack Attack is slightly pulled out of position. She's able to escape. It looks like they're rotating, seeing if they can get a little bit of the enemy jungle. No first bloods. Again, it looks like we're going to have a really big poke. Let's play it safe game again to start. But a good starting advantage here, getting that middle treant and some of OMG United's jungle.
Can I mention something really fast? Somebody's not a laner. Epic Man is. Epic Man's Vox right now, and somebody's Finn. Did they forget to switch?
That could be very interesting. Or there's always that possibility. I mean, oh, wait. Let's see if this fight happens first. It looks like Green Ranger has a chance. Green Ranger
might be
down.
The very first blood, taking it really low, but laid to rest, trying to see what they can do right now. Trying to see what they can. Green Ranger actually is going to have to recall and head back. But is this? Did they forget to switch?
If they did, and somebody pulls this off, I am going to be incredibly impressed. Or it could be truly that Epic Man is just really solid on that fortress, and if not, this team might just have the flexibility to change it up. OMG United just always coming at us with so many surprises. I really like this. This is an opportunity for them to just confuse the enemy team further and wonder, okay, well, hey, we know how that fortress plays. We know how Epic Man does captain, but we have no idea on somebody. They have to completely feel out how somebody is going to play this and see what happens, forcing them to adapt on the fly, even in a best of 3.
Correct. Well, we're going to have to see what they can do. This might be the saving grace for Ardent if they truly did forget, and if this was non-intentional and they forgot to swap. We're going to have to see how OMG United handles not being in their comfort zones.
Thus far, and I mean, thus far, it looks like everything's going pretty solidly.
Zack actually might be in a very bad situation right now. Being on the other side, they're going to take those backs. Ooh, gonna be missing. Green Ranger missing that impale, trying to see what they can do. We might see a Suri strike, just slowing up Zack Attack. Doesn't look like Zack Attack's gonna get away from that, knowing like it's not gonna get away and actually giving up first blood. So I don't think those backs were necessarily worth it to that 300 gold first blood.
Definitely not. I mean, that was just really overly risk taking, because I was about to say, and now look, they're going to be possibly called out of position for another fight.
And this does look like it was unintentional, as Epic Man is going to fall to the Mausenberg, not even bobbing and weaving. So I do believe that this was an unintentional non-roll swap that they forgot to do.
It is definitely possible. I was going to say, somebody looks like they're doing the best they can at a bare minimum right now. Zack Attack being killed and out of position and allowing that rotation up, though. That wasn't just one kill in a first blood. That was basically allowing them to get 2 kills off of that, and that's really an unfortunate way for them to start. I think a great way to keep an eye, especially to see if this was an on-purpose switch or not. Let's keep an eye on that CS all game. Ringo has a slight lead. We're seeing Epic Man catch up, but you know, that might just be a small sign that Epic Man, you know, using some basic fundamental skills, but really might not be made for this captain position he's been stuck in.
And with that, trying to see Epic Man, but Green Ranger just stalling out the lane as a captain, as a good captain should always do, just so it doesn't get in that turret range and you lose actual gold to for your carry, but trying to see what they can do. Epic Man taking a lot of damage from the Ringo, doing what they do best. Epic Man not in a good position right now because that impale does land. They're going to be in a world of hurt, but an incredible amount of damage coming out from Laid to Rest is going to miss that Mausenberg, thinking he's still in that brush. But Zack Attack really is weighted on the fate of his own team. Epic Man super low right now. Ills could have gotten him with that and actually killed him right there, but decided not to, or didn't see the opportunity. And now Laid to Rest is just pretty much rotating. Ardent is doing what they need to, especially taking advantage of this mistake and just rotating into Zack's jungle because Zack cannot do anything right now.
Yeah, and I mean, we're already taking a look. Green Ranger finally getting down to get a little bit more stuff bought, and now he has himself a Fountain of Renewal. It looks like on the other side, we're probably going to see, yep, somebody's grabbing one as well. Epic Man is starting to get a little bit more built. Thankfully, even if it is a switch, it looks like Epic Man and somebody both do know how to build their characters very well, which is, I mean, at least it's going to be something in their favor for the moment. Although, let's see how this rotation works out. It looks like we have 3 versus 1 here on the lane. I mean, Finn is just taking a long time to get back up, and it looks like we're going to have a small fight break out right here, maybe? Yes, there is.
Loads of damage. Death from above is not going to help. Illis and Laid to Rest are just doing a bunch of poke damage. Epic Man taking a good chunk of Mausenberg damage, but somebody is just doing it in a massive damage. Oblivion does go out, is going to sleep. Zack Attack, here comes another fountain coming up. Green Ranger of Ardent doing an incredibly amount of aggressive plays up against it. This could go either way right now. OMG United trying their best. Green Ranger really low, so if they do want to take this fight, they're going to... I wouldn't even advise taking this fight right now. They need to back off. Ardent is just incredibly low. And unfortunately, Illis does not have enough defense right at this moment in order to take the rest of the team.
Ooh, are they going to... Okay, no, as I say, Zack Attack was down there for a second. Was wondering, are they a little bit of catch out of position? No, we're not. It looks like they really are being careful, just like we saw in the early game. We're going to be smart. We're going to make sure that when we dive in, we dive in. But this coming up on this rotation...
Epic Man sensing something is wrong, is barely going to miss the impale. And it is going to live.
That was some solid instincts there from Epic Man. That could have gone really poorly. But thankfully, even despite their lack of vision, because right now Ardent, yet again, taking an early lead on that vision game, making sure they can keep an eye on what's going on. And Green Ranger making sure he can soak up a little bit of that damage on that forward barrage as well for ILS. Although I'm kind of surprised he's engaging a little bit. I thought they were taking these like safe bits of damage here.
with that, it's just the forward barrage coming out from Zack Attack is essentially it's crucial to this team. It really is, because all of OMG United's hopes and dreams is kind of relying on Zack Attack right now. Epic Man is going to get slowed up by the mouse and verdict, but somebody does not want to take this fight. I'm sorry, that's not somebody you used to know, and is going to actually back away from that. Illis is just taking that CS for a ride. Epic Man is not really can't do anything at this current moment. Laid to rest, comes back up to it, and now it's a 3v3, trying to fight it, but loads of damage coming out. Death from above, trying to see what they can do. Laid to rest takes a little bit of quibble damage, but not much, and both teams are going to go their separate ways.
Yes, I mean, gosh, we can't seem to get these major fights, but without them, there's only a slight gold lead in the side of Ardent Gaming, but I mean, that's solid. It's good to have. I think those 2 kills right now are giving them just that little bit of an edge of the lead that they need. As soon as we see a team fight really go bad on one side or the other, we're going to probably start seeing who starts to take a little bit more of a lead and an advantage in this game. And right now, it looks like Green Ranger is out there by himself. Are we going to see a big fight? No, they're coming back up on the rotation.
Guy is not there with the team, so it would be a very unwise choice to actually go into that fight. But Zack Attack is here. They can do something if they want to. Drifting Darkness just doing a little bit. Force Record is going to be blocked out. Beautiful Crucible coming out from Green Ranger, but here goes the Impale just onto somebody. And this is where Ardent needs to actually push for the aggression. Don't know where that Githian wall was, but still, I mean, this is where Ardent needs to show their ability, show their skill, and show what they can do, especially when there's such a huge mistake from the side of OMG United, as Green Ranger is going to be just blocked from that death from above. There goes Oblivion. That is going to be 1 kill, hopefully, onto somebody. And yeah, that is going to be a kill onto Epic Man. And oh, it is a trade 1 for 1. Green Ranger looking really low, but a beautiful trade coming out from Zack Attack of OMG United, and also a beautiful Hellfire Brew going from Illis on to Epic Man.
That was incredible. Making sure that, hey, that kill, they're not going to let them get too much of that advantage. We want to keep that game close. And they were able to do that right there by making sure they got that other kill, at least making it a 1-for-1 trade. And now we're seeing most of the stuff coming back to the lane, most of the stuff normal. Although we do also see right now Epic Man all by himself. Are they going to rotate up to save him? Yes, they are. Just a little bit of a poke there, nothing too serious. Maybe if they really... Green Ranger is really confident and keeps getting close, and it's really kind of working out for them to get some solid bits of damage and poke in.
And with that, Epic Man taking another passive from Illa's. Zack Attack doing a good amount of forward barrage damage with, I mean, right now Zack Attack does have Frostburn, so matching what Laid to Rest is doing, forward barrage just slowing up the other enemy team and trying to see what they can do. Force Accord is going to be blocked by beautiful Crucible, and now Zack Attack is trying to see what they can do. Suri Strike, forward barrage, and Death from above is going to actually separate the entire team. They missed Quibble coming out. Nothing much they can do. Laid to rest. There comes a fountain. Oblivion is going to miss, and now somebody being that wall doing a beautiful job coming from carry position now over to Captain. There we go. Stun onto Green Ranger. Drifting Darkness over to it. Just trying to see what they can do. Forward barrage. Almost at that damage. That is going to be a kill from Vox. Green Ranger is not going to survive this. And there is the Pleasant Company onto for OMG United onto Ardent eSports. And that's going to be a first turret of the game.
Yes, and ILS lucky to get out of there with his life, definitely not getting taken down, but this is a solid start. And it looks like not even just a turret, maybe a gold miner? No, okay, no, they're going to let that gold miner get away as they're going to be able to rotate back up in lane. Probably a smart decision, not getting overzealous, wanting to be really careful as OMG United is able to get their first barely gold lead of the game. Like Ardent has been able to keep it just barely above, and now they're finally getting in here. This seems like a serious even game, and it's going to be interesting to see if Ardent is going to be able to take back that little bit of a lead.
And with that, Ardent is going to be rotating up. Epic Man and somebody have to watch out. That is a 3-man. That is going to be a beautiful Githian wall coming out. Epic Man is actually going to pop the boots. That is an impale that's going to land. Beautiful 3-man rotation up and at least picking up that kill on Epic. So now Zack Attack has a little bit of a treant medic buff going on, trying to see what they can do. That's a stun right onto Green Ranger. And that is going to be another kill on the side of Ardent, and unfortunately they were not able to actually pick up that kill on the side. No, I could be wrong. Zack Attack is gonna go down. That is an ace for Ardent eSports and the first turn of the game. A very big mistake and a misplay on the side of OMG United.
I guess I got my question answered. Ardent was able to take that advantage and definitely work out with it. They have some serious vision set up. They're going to always know where their enemies are. They're getting to steal a little bit of that jungle. So not just the ace, some serious vision and the potential to win some other team fights. Let's see if another one is about to break out right here, or if it's just going to be a little bit of poking. Looks like it's just going to be a little bit of poking. That one. Just a little poke this time. They're not going to try to take the 2v2. And taking a little bit of a look in lane here right now, again, it's mostly even. We're seeing CS even on both sides. We're seeing everything even but these team fights. It seems like every time one side or the other gets the team fight going, they get that little bit of a gold lead, they get that little bit of an objective taken, and they're getting a little bit closer to winning the game.
With that, both Epic Man and Zack Attack are going to rotate around to the side. Somebody coming along with us, being that Force Accord is not going to be blocked by the Crucible, but is going to be blocked. Oh, it's not going to block the Quibble, though. Lord amount of damage coming out. Illis is going to be the first casualty. No, both the casualties going 1-1. Epic Man being in the driver's seat, though, trying to see what they do. That Oblivion is beautiful. Impale going out. Fountain seeing if it's going to be enough. Epic Man gonna see is not gonna be enough damage coming onto it. Barely almost getting it. And unfortunately, somebody just can't finish him off in time. But Epic Man targeting the very, very wrong target, trying to go after Green Ranger when he could have had that easy kill on no lead to rest right there.
And right now, that is excellent and Ardent. Now they have the second team fight in a row going in their favor. A little bit more of a lead, as we've been talking about earlier. They really need that with everything so even. Every single time they get one of those heroes on the enemy side and get them killed, that is just a little bit more gold to try to complete their builds and get a little more damage on faster than the opposing team. And right now, in general, it's only by a tiny bit, but Ardent is now also leveling up higher than somebody in Epic Man. So it's not just the gold. They're getting a chance to be able to get their abilities fully tuned up and be able to do even better in these team fights going into the future before they can try to even up the game.
I mean, at the same time, I mean, when you forget to switch your two main roles, you're in an uncomfortable position, especially up against a good team like Ardent eSports. You're going to have to focus and play to the best of your abilities. And right now, OMG United is doing very well and not being in comfortable zones.
When it looks, are we okay? Maybe just some more poking again, just a little bit more poking. We're seeing a lot of pokes going on in this game. Oh no, we've Hellfire Brew's coming out.
Hellfire Brew coming out. Green Ranger going to be taking a look, trying to see if we can go at that Githian wall or Impale. Epic Man taking a loads amount of damage from that Hellfire Brew and actually forcing Epic Man to actually recall there. So good Hellfire Brew coming out from Illis, and now Ardent eSports trying to see what else they can do. In terms of taking for objectives, there goes the Crystal Miner. That might be a big mistake from Ardent eSports. There goes the Force Cord on Ellis. Death from above is going to be blocked out. Trying to see what they can do. Zack Attack. Oblivion does sleep out. Epic Man. Green Ranger might be the first casualty of this battle. No, it is going to be actually Epic Man. And now Zack Attack trying to see what they can do. That is a loads amount of damage. And somebody's going to be able to pick up that one kill onto Illis, but now he has to deal with both Lady Dress and Green Ranger, trying to see if they can actually just stall out the game long enough to avoid the ace onto for Ardent eSports, trying to see what they can do. And that is going to be an ace buff for Ardent eSports.
That was an impressive fight. Ardent is now taking this game in their control. 3 team fights in a row. This game that has been so far even, every little bit of that advantage is now starting to come into play, and they're going to easily get this first turret. even with Epic Man coming back up. We see Zack Attack coming up as well. And I mean, it's still going to be a little bit for somebody. So here's their chance. Maybe we see a little bit of vision put down. Maybe we see some infusion spot. Maybe we just see a little bit more. Just we're going to be more prepared than you are again for this next team fight.
With that, Ardent eSports this might be the chance that they need. Just a small mistake like not switching might be what they were asking for and what the doc ordered in terms of coming back into this series. Now it is still 1-0 in favor of OMG United, trying to see what they can do. So if they can land one good fight, grab that crack and push for the Vein Crystal, they will win.
Oh, a little bit of a note. We've seen Vox all night, but of course we've seen Vox all night with 2 Tyrant monocles. Right now, Epic Man looks like he's only going to be planning to build 1. So we're not getting as much crit damage in these fights as well. That might end up being kind of a bad move, and another one of those shows that maybe they didn't switch again. Maybe they don't. He does not know. You kind of need both of those to get all the damage that he wants to get.
I mean, for not doing, like, they've had some good forced accords. For somebody being a carry main, they haven't been doing too bad. Death from Above is going to actually separate out between the two teams. Zack Attack trying to see, oh no. Zack Attack is going to be the focused one. Hellfire Brew right on top of Fountain is going to save Zack Attack's life. Just in nick of time, there goes another Fountain. Both Fountains have been wasted by each team. And now Zack Attack trying to see what they can do. That is going to be the first kill. That is going to be a second kill. Ardent eSports is going to pick up that next ace and push for the end.
And looks like they're going to be headed for the turrets first. They just want to see what they can do here. I mean, even the nearest respawn, we're going to have almost 30 seconds. If they really come in here with a strong enough amount of damage, they're at least going to be able to get all of the turrets, if not this crystal. Ardent turning this second game around, that first game going out of their favor. Now they are making absolutely sure to secure this final game and likely take the win from themselves. Even with those 2 coming in, I think they just got too much damage. That was a good game for Ardent.
Now 1-1, can Ardent eSport, now this is the question that I want to propose, is even if Ardent eSports could take it by just a margin, a small margin from OMG United, if they had somebody in Epic Man had swapped to their main roles, would have we seen a different story? Now this is what we're gonna have to see going into game 3. If Ardent eSports can hold their own, if the people are on their main roster positions, that's what I'm afraid to see.
I am too, because we saw OMG United in that first game. They did solidly. And I'm going to want to see how Ardent tries to build in this second game. I want to see if we get any more surprises out of OMG United. And I really want to see if we see that Fortress banned again and what kinds of other bans we might see pulled out. This is really cool, and I'm seriously looking forward